Welcome back, Ringette fans, to this wonderful evening game, 5 o'clock here in Gatineau. We are broadcasting live from the Slush Puppy Arena with the Waterloo Wildfire taking on Montreal Mission for your evening. We're hoping we're welcoming some new Ringette fans as we broadcast for the second time in Ringette history from CBC. A long, wonderful history of Ringette, but only now do we get to talk to the beautiful people out there and share our sport. So thank you for joining us. My name is Emily Renneberg. I'll be doing the play-by-play call today. I am joined by my wonderful colleague, Kirsten.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited about this game. I'm a Montreal girl, so
no bias.
That's
right?
where no, not biased at all. I'm just excited to see my hometown represented.
Absolutely. Now these two teams have met each other 3 times previously. Mission taking the win twice and Wildfire taking the win once. The last time they played each other was February 8th with Wildfire walking away 8-7. These are very close games that these two have between them, which makes sense because they're both very similar in the standings. We've got a lot of Ringette in the next 4 quarters ahead. And again, we welcome you from hopefully across Canada and maybe from outside Canada. I don't know if people outside Canada can get CBC, but welcome one and all to our evening of Ringette. This is the last East Hub of the season. There is one West Hub remaining next weekend in Morinville, Alberta, just outside St. Albert.
And for those of us who don't know, what would a hub be?
So the way that they've designed the National Ringette League schedule more recently is to get teams together pretty much every month to play each other in what they call these hub weekends, where all the teams come, they travel to one of the team's home rinks. So now we're here with Gatineau, so Fusion is the home team, and they get to play each other in all these games, which helps with, especially with the teams that don't have other teams near them to play very often. It helps level that playing field and make sure they can see each other a lot more than they would have previously before they head to nationals.
Sounds efficient.
Definitely a better program from what I understand. Today's game is supported by a wonderful group of officials. Calling our game today, Stephanie Black and Brandon Miller. And on shot clock, I have that it's supposed to be Nancy, but I don't think that doesn't, to me that doesn't look like Nancy.
Doesn't look like Nancy.
So that's not Nancy, but we've got a great group of officials, including shot clock officials, who are supporting these games. Again, a lot of these people in preparation for the Canadian National Ringette Championships that are happening in Ottawa, March 30th. To April 5th. If you're in the area or even slightly close to the area, I would highly recommend checking that out. Tickets are available, and so are volunteer positions. So go to that website. Mission starting things out here with the cycle. Taking a bit of a shot pass there, sliding through the crease. Keeping things out wide, Blanchette.
Good stop by Schnarr.
Cam Schnarr in net again. Like this morning's game. taking it up top, finding outside of that triangle, starting the cycle around. Blanchette will pass it off to Lassard. Lassard's going to get a shift change there as well. Some fresh feet out here for Mission as they fire it. Great on Schnarr. Dubé in net for Mission. And Mission's going to get it back here, trying to feed that through. Makes a fake around the bottom of the triangle. Passing it back off to Blanchard. Blanchard coming out wide. Getting a pass off down low. Shot off from Lanouette. Lanouette picking that off, but touching the crease as she tries to work that around. Schnarr, no problem with the toss. Wildfire making a move right out from the bench. First shot on Dubé. Clement fighting for that ring in the neutral zone, picked up by Trudell. Trudell trying to pass it into friendly territory, but Wildfire will pick it up instead, feeding it down along the boards. Cross into the zone for Bewald. Bewald creating that cycle around the triangle, gets picked off by the center. Blanchette there to stop that pathway. And Mission coming in with the rush. Passing it inside the triangle. There was a bit of great movement there from Boulay, who found her way into that triangle and was just on Schnarr's crease. Looking for that opportunity in tight.
Schnarr's been challenged quite a bit already.
Wildfire passing that off, picked up by Mission. Ring is inside the zone by Blanchard. Blanchard coming around. Meets up with Lanouette. Lanouette fakes it. Uses that speed, coming around again, dropping it back to Blanchard. Blanchard coming in on the side, takes a shot. Schnarr right into their chest. And Mission taking it right out front, getting that opportunity. Can't quite capitalize. Schnarr meeting her up front. And Wildfire will get it back. Skating up was Jacoby. Jacoby slamming on those brakes to get away from traffic, makes the defensive pass. Mission putting on that pressure to not allow Wildfire to get through. 7 seconds on that shot clock, and they barely passed the blue line. Mission hanging that ring up top. Taking it for a bit of a skate is Medashevsky. Some work here around the boards as a sliding pass all the way through the triangle. Schnarr almost gets a toe on it, but not as accurate as she would have wanted. And a tight in shot. Schnarr looking behind their shoulder, thinking they may have squeaked past the ring, but no problem there. Wildfire trying to get things back. They settled in control. Mission so far dominating the offensive zone, not letting Wildfire have any opportunity here as Duncan takes it. Duncan right over the line to Yulden. Yulden throwing her shoulders into it. Yulden picking it up on the side. Backhand shot, and she scores.
What a shot.
Second shot, first goal. Yulden, one of the top scorers in this league, makes the beautiful backhand and shows the value of being very good on your forehand and very good on your backhand in this sport. She's not limited to what side she needs to pick, and instead goes top corner on Dubé.
That was a fantastic pick.
Now in net this morning was Trudell. Mission deciding to select Dubé this evening. She's tested early, 1-0 already. Wildfire, not a lot of opportunity in the offensive, but when they have it, they have it. Mission trying to get one back here. Wildfire seeing a connection, moving the ring along the boards, right up back front. Just outstretched in front of Maddie McLean. Mission getting picked up. Blanchard. She's got it over to Mayer. Blanchard. There's a delayed call on the play, so goaltender Dubé is in her net. And the shot on Schnarr goes through. Mission ties it very quickly, making the return. And that's a goal coming from captain Julie Blanchette. She had a goal in Monday's this morning's game as well. So starting things off early here. Tied 1-1. Both goals kind of came from similar angles.
Yeah. Post in, top corner, short side.
Wildfire trying to get it over the line, but facing pressure from Mission, firing it up to Lessard. Lessard makes the move. Shot on Schnarr. Walks into the crease as well. Pressure from the D made Lessard lose some of that space that she initially had on that rush. Really great heads-up pass over to her. Schnarr had it. And Wildfire making a bit of a change here, trying to get a cycle going. Using the space, firing it at Dubé. She's ready on the post. And a little bit of a bouncing ring picked up by the forward on the line. Ready to start the rush. Mission making a move here. Hanson Fong, though, supporting that along the line to Jacoby. Jacoby into center, back to Jacoby, but it's picked up with a stick. Blanchard was right in the way, and now she's coming in with the rush. Back to Brule. Brule takes it. She's got space, moves it to the corner of the net. Blanchard, there's enough power on that ring that it flew up Blanchard's stick. Got her right in the hands. Couldn't quite settle it. Play gets whistled down. Wildfire trying to find center ice, gets picked up by Blanchard. She's been right in the way here. And a backhand. Doesn't find the back of the net. Lanuette, though. Hunting for it again here. Fakes the shot, takes it, fires it, and finds a sneaky little space between Schnarr's pads. And they got to take a bit of a skate here. We haven't seen this from them before. I think they might be frustrated off of that one. It's a few goals coming in and around a short period of time, but I think part of that, the reason why that goal was so successful is that Hanson Fong was basically a screen, basically in front of Schnarr. And Mission was able to take advantage of that, so Mission up on the scoreboard for the first time this game. 2-1 now. Moving things around, keeping it to the outside. Moving it inside, trying to get a stick on it. Couldn't quite get there. Cormier had a look. Mission will take the remaining ring. Moving it up quickly. Right in pairs. Blanchette. Passing it off, moving it to Trundle. Back to Blanchette. Brule in the middle of the triangle, waiting for something here. Trudel. Outside, takes a shot, tries to get it onto the goaltender. But as you said before, if the shot isn't on the goalie and it's on the netting, you're not going to get the reset.
That's right. It's a big frustration with fans. Sometimes they don't understand and they think, oh, it's unfair because they didn't call the reset. But the refs are following the rules and they're very good at calling it.
Blanchette moving that up the ice to Brule. Brule making a firing pass over to Blanchard. Just a bit too much for her as it moved into the corner. Speeding away is Duncan. Tries to get it over, but two-line pass is the result. So Markle will touch it, but because Duncan passed it over two lines, Mission had to touch it before Wildfire, and that's why we got the whistle. think one of the more unique things about our wonderful sport is the blue line possession passing. It makes it a lot faster, I would say, and doesn't allow anybody to kind of hog the ring, as we would say.
A lot more focus on team play, and it also prevents significant cherry picking. Although on the other hand, we don't have the offside.
We don't. And I do like to cherry pick as the high forward. So we can sneak it in there still a little bit. Shot over top of the net from Schnarr. Like there might be something wrong with their skate. Hopefully that's settled as Wildfire trying to get it out of the end now. A bit too much on that pass. Moving it into the zone, fires it from wide, goes a little bit too high. A good look from a quick pass. Air. Coming around, 12 seconds on the shot clock, tops it back. And a firing shot over from Schnarr, sliding across the ice. Trudell had a good look. Trudell taking that ring, quickly shooting that. Hanson Fong over the blue line. And a firing shot from center there from Jacoby. Mission now with speed. Looking for connection over the line, finds Blanchette. Blanchette to Lessard. Long pass along the blue line. Blanchette looking for an opportunity here. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Makes the back pass. Finds its way into traffic there. Blanchard tried to win that off. Top of the triangle. Now a bit of a battle along the boards. Picked up by Blanchard. And then moved over. Seguin. And a toss over to Jacoby. Jacoby using that stretch pass for support. Long pass over as well to Norris. Just a bit too far. Mission going to take things back. Blanchard skating backwards across the top, looking for something. Makes a back pass instead. 19 seconds on the shot clock. And a big fire from Blanchard on that corner. Not a lot of angle there for her, and Schnarr was there. And moving the ring back. Met at center ice with a bit of body contact there, so there'll be a delayed call on Wildfire. Mission going to take advantage, coming in quickly. Dubé making the skate to her net. Now there's 4 in the zone, 6 on the ice. As the delayed call continues, 15 seconds on the shot clock, trying to box things out here. And a bit of a stick there, getting in the way of Brulé. Had the corner. Brulé again sliding over the side of the net. That hurt me, just watching that.
You have a toe tie out of place.
Brulé had a really good look on that side, but Schnarr had an even better slide.
Excellent tracking. Without good tracking, that's not stoppable.
So we'll deal with some equipment malfunctions. Is that what we call it?
I would say, yes. Typically they have 5 minutes to fix it.
There's a lot of stuff going on with goalies, and those pads have a lot of different ties on them.
Oh,
yeah.
Power. Yeah, it's looks like a toe tie.
Probably get that sorted on the bench or swap goalies.
Sometimes with the skate lace toe ties, sometimes it slips and it gets under the skate and the skate cuts it.
Oh yeah.
And then it's too short, you can't use it anymore. But the toe tie is important to the rotation of the pad and getting it back into place.
Are they easy to replace?
Theoretically, but you have to take the whole pad off usually.
Oh, no.
But hopefully we can do a quick fix here.
Well, the crowd is currently loving the YMCA, so I think we're settled for the bit.
Fair enough. Mine's broken into game before. I just take the whole thing off and play the rest of the game without it.
Didn't you say it was important though?
Oh, well, it's important. It's important, but it's not life or
essential?
death.
Okay,
it's not
all right.
life or death.
Well, it appears it's either fixed or they've decided it's not life or death and continue on with play. Brule fakes that pass up top, continues the cycle, 20 seconds on the shot clock, coming up top, right through the legs, finds sticks Wildfire in the way of that pass. And Brule picks up that loose ring, fires it, sees that far post. Schnarr just gets a stick on it, I think either a stick or a pad, but enough there to keep that out of the net. Brule looking for something here as time winds down on this first quarter. Golden looked like she might let something rip up front, decides to pass it off instead. 5 seconds on the shot clock, walking in tight. So that shot was Kiviaho. Wildfire looking for some last opportunities here. Kiviaho lets it rip, but it finds its way into traffic. Blanchette with some speed out of the zone, taking it up is Blanchard over to Mayer. Mayer into the center of the triangle and flips it right over Schnarr's shoulder. Manuette comes streaking in, finds the opportunity inside the triangle, gives herself some space and goes top corner on Schnarr. Just a beautiful play, really taking advantage of the space that ends up inside the triangle. As hard as it is to get inside that space, there is an opportunity to have an area inside the triangle where sometimes it's too close to the crease, but that was just perfect.
The spin arounds are hard to anticipate, especially if the player, the shooter, has their head down. So usually the eyes will tell you kind of where they're planning on going, but when the head's down, you have no idea.
So is that a tip to all the forwards out there? Keep your heads down, don't look at the
Not
goalie.
for any of the forwards playing against me.
And that'll take us to a short break between our first and second quarter. In the National Ringette League, there are 4 quarters, 13 minutes each, with a flood, a Zamboni in between, the second and third. Gives everybody a bit of a breather, but not so much that, you know, the sweat cools. So far, this has been a very high-paced game.
It has been, and it's very, very different on both ends. Mission is getting a lot of shots, so they're playing the numbers game, whereas Wildfire's taking fewer shots, they're getting fewer opportunities, but as we saw with their first goal, they've capitalized on it. It's a very different approach. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the second quarter, how Wildfire adjusts to get more time in the offensive zone.
Dubé hasn't seen a lot of action in that first quarter.
But kudos to Dubé. It's hard to not get a lot of shots and stay mentally focused in the game.
What kind of tactics do you normally use to stay in the game at that point then?
I don't know. I tend to have a song stuck in my head every game. So that I'm just bopping along there in the crease. So
finding some way to entertain yourself in the
But
meantime.
I often have a lot of shots. It's very rare for me to have a game where I don't have a lot of shots.
Well, I think that'll be in Wildfire's game plan coming up here to get more shots on net, challenge Dubé a little bit more. They haven't seen a lot of offensive action, and a lot of that is to do with getting out of the zone, capitalizing on the neutral zone. They're getting stuck in the neutral zone, getting picked off. They need to make clean, crisp passes. And really start slowing things down, taking time in the zone. We'll see how that goes here as we start our way into the second quarter. Mission.
Yeah. And maybe though, like I think that in this half, well, this quarter I should say, just anticipating where the passing lanes are going to open up and getting the ring there.
And a big winding shot on Schnarr. you're still dealing with a little bit of pad movement. I think
Yes,
the toe tie is
but-
actually missing because that moved the
Yes.
pad. Yeah, they took it out.
You can see that when she gets back up, it's not popping back into place.
Dubé decides to shovel it out to enemy territory. The crowd reacting to that as well. McLean now at the top. Looking like she's trying to find a pass. Not seeing a lot of space, taking the room up at the top of the triangle here, challenging the center. Dropping it back over to Jacoby. Jacoby's got 10 seconds on the shot clock, driving it a bit, passing it off, and the loose ring finds the triangle instead. A little bit of a battle here as Mission trying to move that ring, but move it or lose it, as the rule is called, and as we say, if you can't get rid of that ring and start moving it, you are going to lose possession. And so the ring will find its way over to Waterloo Wildfire with Brooklyn Norris. Norris up top. Jacoby with the drop pass. Gets right into the feet of Mission. They'll take it off and trying to find that pass over to Brule. Brule did not know where that was. And so
Stroke of luck for Wildfire.
Clement was able to take advantage of the fact that Brule did not know where that was coming from. Stave that away. Mission coming back. Tight pass over the line with some speed here. Brule passing it back off to Blanchette. Blanchette nodding at her teammate, telling them where they need to be. Trudel over to Brule, who fires it wide. Not quite there, but had some power. Granger now. Feeding it up across the line to Yulden. Yulden up front, straight and tight. Shot from right in front of the crease into Dubé. She was ready for that, but a really good look there from Kiviaho, who was just sat right in front, ready for that long stretch pass. Just didn't have a lot of space to do anything with it. So Yulden again. Yulden, one of the top point getters in this league. A great goal scorer. And one of the many sister pairs, although her sister's not on this team. She's on Calgary Wrath instead. And a shot just over Dubé's head from outside the triangle. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Yulden trying to move it down. Kiviaho moving it right back up to Yulden. Yulden trying to get past the center of the D. Getting taken down. Ring goes wide. And she had a shot on Dubé for the reset, I believe.
Just in time.
Yeah, they'll get the free pass. Game is within 2. If you're new to our sport, we have a very high scoring sport. So 3-1, not a big goal lead. Very easy to capitalize on that. There's still a lot of time left on the clock. 10 minutes left in this second quarter, and then there's 2 quarters to follow this. So lots of action ahead as Wildfire take the ring in the offensive zone. Keep it to the outside. Passing it over to Yulden. Yulden fires it and gets a toe from Dubé. Pushing it out into the corner, but Wildfire will pick up that loose ring. Markle now. Markle spinning. Trying to make a fake along with the pass. 2 now in the triangle, making Kiviaho's life a little bit harder. Yulden now fires it, tries that far post again. Dubé there with the pad. Kiviaho back pass to Yulden. Yulden fires it. There's the goal she was looking for. Again, keeps testing that far side post on Dubé. You knew she was looking for it. And she puts her team within 1 now. And really that came off of the heads up back pass from Kiviaho, who made it look like she was coming in toes forward to the net. Probably gonna take a shot, and then fed it back behind her, right over to Yulden, who came in with some speed. Very heads-up play there from Kiviaho. 18 seconds on the shot clock as Mission begins their cycle. That ring found its way through the triangle, gets knocked down by a stick. And Lassard feeding to the middle now. Instead, Blanchette Getting pushed out, trying to find Lessard in the middle. Time will expire on the shot clock. Schnar gets it. Placing it ever so softly beside the net. Moving things up into center. Behart gets a lot of traction on that. Manages to keep possession in play for Wildfire. McLean fighting in the corner. And there's enough on the stick of Trudell that she'll get a penalty called against her. It looks like 2 minutes for slashing. Just a little bit too much tenacity with the stick in the corner. You want to make sure that you're not chopping down on the stick, rather up underneath the stick, and not getting anywhere near hands and gloves. That's kind of where you'll start to get some whistles blown on you. So power play here for Wildfire as they start this out with energy. 4 in the zone. Called for Mission. Can't do that. So Wildfire will get it back. Yolden stays on the shift, trailing her pass. Kiviaho back to Yolden. Yolden makes a fake, pulls to the outside back, tries to feed it to Kiviaho. Just a little bit off target. Yolden comes low with speed, tries it again, over to Markle. Markle dips right in front, tries to make it look like she wasn't going to shoot, does, fires it top corner, and ties things up here. She rips that top corner. How easy is that to save?
It's, when you're on your knees, not that easy unless your gloves are projected really well forward. But she was too far away for that to have been effective anyway.
Really great look from Markle.
It was just a fantastic shot. But again, a lot of misdirection before they shoot, and that's what the key is. That's what they're doing very, very well.
Blanchette now looking at the net, finding someone in front as Goulet fights for it. Made it look like she was going to continue to cycle, but pass it up in front. Strong pass from McLean to Behart. Couldn't quite connect there. Mission will take things back. Moving it over the blue line, firing it down into open ice for Lessard. Lessard moving it over to Blanchette. Blanchette firing it across to Brule. They'll get a change here. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Brule fakes it, comes across the top. Center is pressuring her. Blanchard taking it instead, fires it just slightly wide. Enough for the ring to get into the hands of the Wildfire. Yolden now looking for an outlet. Skating, using her speed. Finding that pass, getting it back with speed. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Bit of a change here. She passes it off over to Kiviaho. Kiviaho takes it, shoots. Dubé gets a glove. Mission moving it to Blanchard. Blanchard dropping it back to Mayer. Mayer back to Blanchard. Blanchard just getting a little bit overwhelmed there by Anton Fong's defense. Kiviaho now. Firing, it's Yolden. Yolden looks like she might take a shot, but decides to spend some more time in the zone. Mission. Really great effort there from Lanouette. Taking Kiviaho's stick, taking the ring with her. Mission fighting out of their own zone. Lanouette. Getting things back here, making a move, fires it too high. That ring will go sailing into the corner. Bit of a battle here for possession. Blanchette, she'll pick it up, faking it, deciding to continue the cycle. And drops it back to Trudell. Trudell to Blanchette. And there's 4 in the zone. Math is hard sometimes, you know?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3. You know, it's hard to do that math sometimes. Now, I should point out, if a fourth player enters the zone intentionally, that is a delay of game penalty, but that was clearly not intentional. Most of them are, but sometimes there's enough of a tenacious forward that just steps over the line.
And you don't see it called very often.
No, not at this level anyway. Now up to Brule. Brule with speed coming in, back pass over to Trudel. Trudel fires it on the brakes, back to Brule. Brule to Blanchette. Blanchette met with some defensive wall here as Mission had great speed coming in there. Brule still with it, tries to get it pass off at center. It's picked up by Granger. Granger losing it to Blanchette. Back to Granger. Getting it over the line here to Markle. Markle coming in, fires it. Enough of a bounce off the back blast that came back in front of Dubé. But Mission will take it back in. Back pass over to Blanchard. Blanchard fires it. And there's no problem there. For our goalie switch, did we notice that before? Oh no, that's still Char. We're good. Play continues. Mission looking to get over that blue line. 2 on Blanchard with the ring. Making it a little bit harder to find that outlet. Gets over the line. Starting the skates. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Coming around. Getting a bit of a backhand fire off of Trudel. Camille Trudel. And another close look right on the post for Blanchard. Hard angle there. Schnarr was there. And Blanchard looks, decides she wants to keep skating. She'll get 2 forwards swapping on her. Needs that support, so she'll hide out in that far away space from the triangle as things get settled here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Need to make something happen here. Blanchette taking it, fakes it, brings it back on her backhand. Schnarr gets a pad. Lassard keeping out wide. Trudel inside the triangle. Blanchette back to Trudel. Trudel fakes it, tries to go short side again. Defense meets her with a bit of pressure. Lassard picks up that loose ring, fires it, goes too wide. Blanchette shovels it. Ring stays out of the crease, but time will expire on the shot clock and Schnarr will get the toss. I think that got whistled down because of a foreign again. They made the swap.
Couldn't quite tell. Maybe. I thought one of the players may have clipped the crease as well.
There you go. Either would have caused the whistles. So.
The refs have been very strict with the creases today.
Yes. And the paint looks pretty good, so that usually helps. Mission. Looking for something here. Lanuette. Trying to chase her loose ring. Can only go out. And Wildfire thought they had a bit of a break there, but they're going to get called. Wiewald's 2 minutes for slashing. There was 2 back. No one was on goal side. Had that not been a delayed call, that could have been big trouble for Mission.
Very big trouble.
And a great opportunity for Wildfire.
Wildfire continuing to look for those gaps to get those passes through.
So Mission on the power play here. Score still tied. Need to take advantage. Dropping it back to Lanuette. Lanuette coming off a couple goals in this morning's game. Mayer using the space available. Picking up some speed, getting pushed out. 7 seconds on that shot clock. Needs something here. Sliding ring through the crease. Finds Wildfire. Kiviaho gets the touch, so she takes it. And that ring goes a little bit too high. Fighting along the boards. Wildfire pushing away. Markle using all her strength to keep that ring. 24 seconds. Still got a cycle going. Granger now across the way. continuing that cycle as time starts winding down on the shot clock. Jacoby trying to find something in tight. Kiviaho back pass to Jacoby. Jacoby with the soft toss onto Dubé, intended for the reset. Looks like they'll still get it. Huh? Nope, just kidding. The fans didn't like that, but the refs conferred, decided it was going to be possession back to Mission instead.
It wasn't quite on the post.
Yeah. Mission over the line. Sliding it to Moreau. Moreau not quite there. Looks like going to Mission. Yeah. Bit of a tough spot along the boards for us to see up here.
Mission passes, circles around, passes off, looking for a shot, Wildfire making it difficult, defense being strong. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Wildfire defense intercepted. Wildfire moves up the ice. Circles back so that players can catch up to her. Markle has the ring. Comes around. 7 seconds on the shot clock, looking to make something happen. Oh, good save by Dubé. Wildfire looking for another shot. Misses the net. Wildfire reclaimed possession. Just misses the net. Mission have it back. And that's the end of the second quarter. Game is tied 3-3. Players are starting to get off the ice for a little bit of a break while the ice gets resurfaced. Stay tuned for Emily, who will be talking to one of the players.
we just kind of came out a bit flat in the first, but the second period we definitely got our legs going a bit, and we started to win some of those ring battles, which has then turned into a couple goals in the second, so we got to keep up that momentum.
As a team, you played this morning. What did you learn from this morning that you applied to today's evening game?
And we also played last night, funny enough. So this is actually our third, which usually would be our last game, but we do have another. We played great this morning, like such a team effort, and that's what it takes. It takes everyone on our team to give their all for 4 quarters, and that's a lot of time. So we had good momentum, and our team's just going to feed off that shift by shift.
We're broadcasting through CBC today. It's a big moment for Ringette. Obviously, you know, being in the National Ringette League for a while, you know, you've seen a lot of the growth and the momentum. How are you feeling as where the sport is today, how we're looking at women's sports, and how you're feeling with the team and going into nationals?
So it's amazing that CBC is covering this. I sent the link out to everyone I know. I was like, even if you can't watch, put it on your TV. It's just so great for the sport. Often I have to explain Ringette to people, and that's not always the best feeling. Like, I kind of have to vouch for the sport. But if it was seen, I wouldn't need to vouch as much. Like, watching how fast we are, people get it. And you need to see it sometimes at the highest level to really understand, and that's what's going to motivate young kids and young girls to stay in the sport. Whether they go into AA or just stay playing and moving their bodies, like, we just want people, and girls and women specifically, to stay in sport. So it's great. And moving into nationals, like, this is a good add to our momentum that people are watching, because sometimes it can be pretty quiet in here. So, like, knowing there's some extra people watching from home, it just helps you kind of want to play a bit harder. So
better than pressure.
Yeah, like, it's fun when music's there. Like, you want to play harder and you want to play well. So having that adds to our momentum, and we obviously want to give our best. So that's the goal.
Perfect. Well, hopefully the momentum continues into the second half. Congratulations so far. There's a lot of Ringettes left to go. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Ringette Canada est fier d'être le premier organisme sportif au Canada de s'affilier au Ability Center sous la bannière de Mixed Ability Sport Canada. Notre but est de créer un modèle de sport inclusif qui va contribuer et améliorer la santé mentale, sociale et physique de tous les Canadiens.
We started the first Ringette team for children of different abilities, children with physical and cognitive disabilities. So that's how it started, and then it just evolved to having no barriers to participation. And now we're a mixed ability team where we have all levels, all ages of participants, and it is absolutely amazing.
Good job. You got it. You're a rock star.
RFA has given our kids an opportunity to play with a bunch of kids and build friendships that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
It's been a real booster for her to feel like she's part of a group and that they're having fun and they're playing, they're learning.
Yes.
When I first started playing, I got my best friend's old Ringette stick, and she saved a bunch of goals in that stick for me, and I ended up getting my first wrist shot with that stick.
Il y a un impact sur la confiance de soi, sur notre santé mentale, notre santé physique, mais sur une équipe d'habileté mixte, ces bénéfices sont amplifiés encore plus. Nous avons un groupe complètement divers depuis les dernières quelques années. Nous avons des enfants avec handicap cognitif, handicap physique.
A lot of our skaters are just learning how to skate, which is a good thing. I just love how they're developing every single season.
We'll need
you out there anyways.
Yes.
Right? We'll lead you out there.
All right. Now remember the volunteer goal.
Hi, my name is Jade and we're in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. We are at the Air Tindy float base here in Yellowknife Territories at this beautiful outdoor rink playing some ringette with Ringette Canada. Yeah, this is the best day of my life. I haven't played ringette for over a year since my last game with Laurentian. So for Ringette Canada to bring ringette to Yellowknife, this absolutely made my day. I think everybody should play ringette and it's great to see it here in the Northwest Territories.
Welcome back, Ringette fans. Second half of Waterloo Wildfire versus Montreal Mission on our wonderful Ringette Saturday. Again, I'm Emily Renneberg, joined by the great and wonderful
Kirsten McLaughlin.
the dynamic duo, as some may
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Enjoying our Saturday of Ringette. Tied game so far, very closely matched teams. Both looking to take the lead here as we walk into the second half. Brule already on the net here with a shot. Ice freshly resurfaced. Blanchard, a shot right over the net. Blanchette had a good look there. She likes those tight angles towards the sides of the net. Plays well with Brule. And the two of them starting off this third quarter here, getting the first looks. Wildfire moving it into the zone. Taking things slow a little bit here up the top. Making the pass over to Yulden. Yulden dropped to Kiviaho. Kiviaho fakes it, shoots. Dubé gets a little bit of a pad on it. She had her pad a little bit at an angle, so had the ring not come at that perfect spot, it may have slid right underneath her.
Possible, yes. It's important to drive your knee to the ice.
Wildfire picking it up in the neutral zone. Yulden getting an outlet. Wildfire just over the line. Kiviaho passing it to Yulden. Yulden turning. She's pushed off. Cormier down to Kiviaho. 12 seconds on that shot clock. Back over to Yulden. Yulden up top. Trying to find her way across. That was called. And we'll get a change up here for both sides.
I think it was a forehand.
Yeah. They have those. There's been a few of those in this game. Again, math is hard sometimes.
Must be Imperial. We're working on metric.
We're working on metric here. So Mission will get the ring back at center. Coach is chatting with one of our officials here.
But in these types of games, players cut it close. We've seen it all day with the crease. And of course, the free play line as well.
You gotta have some sharp eyesight for being an official, that's for sure.
Definitely, they're doing a great job.
Now Ruben in. Taking the ring for a bit of a skate here. Ruben. Making a pass over to Lanouette. Lanouette fakes it with the shoulder. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Spinning Blanchard. Curls in, takes the shot on Schnarr. Schnarr gets a piece of it with their glove.
That should have been a reset.
That was just a miss reset. Shrug from the shot clock official.
It happens.
It happens.
I do shot clock all the time, and it's not an easy job. I don't envy them.
Certainly not an easy job. And sometimes the technology is not, just like all technology, doesn't necessarily go your way all the time.
No.
Blanchette across the top, fires it a little bit inside that triangle area for Trudel. Softer pass to inside enemy territory. Wildfire taking it up outside. And
penalty.
A slashing call on that.
Shot clock is so nuanced too. Like even with the deflection, is there intent? Is there not intent? Is it just a bounce?
Sometimes it's not actually a reset. Got to keep it at the same seconds. Sometimes you can't see that far, whether it was the post or not.
When in doubt, wait for the ref.
Shout out shot clock officials.
Yes, you guys are amazing.
Thank you for your work.
Yes. We can't do it without you.
Absolutely. Wildfire losing that ring into the zone. Yulden decides to take it over the line, passing it over 2 lines, so Metashevsky will take it. The back pass, a little bit short there. Brule will pick it up inside the neutral zone. Right over to Sagan. Sagan down to Blanchette. Blanchette tries to get it over to Brule. Brule loving that side of the net.
You can see how the ring is moving, that the ice is a little bit tacky.
Yeah.
It's not as fast as it was during the previous game after they done resurfacing.
And that makes a big difference for the ring in the sport, definitely.
It also makes it hard for the goalies because you stick. You're trying to do a butterfly push and it's so much harder.
Ice conditions make a big difference here.
Absolutely.
As Blanchard to Lanouette. Lanouette in on Schnarr, back over to Blanchette. Blanchard, my apologies, she's had that firing shot just outside.
It's a great setup.
Using the available space. Fires it, hits the post. And Wildfire will pick that back up.
Breaking out.
Markle now, waiting for an outlet. Getting that over the line with confidence. Back to Yulden, Yulden to Markle. Yulden to Markle. They'll get possession. 14 seconds remain on the penalty to Montreal Mission. Wildfire on the power play. Jacoby will take the ring in a free circle. Markle tries to feed it inside to Jacoby, but snapped up by the defense. Trudel now putting on the brakes, trying to find somebody. She's got 3 on her. Manages to keep on that ring. Moves it over to, and a bit of a passing streak there. Doesn't allow for a shot, but great opportunity there for Mission. Now Jacoby. Sliding pass.
Both teams are playing with a lot of intensity this quarter. It's nice to see. They're already doing great, but now they've kicked it up a notch.
McLean now behind the net, passing it up to Yulden. Yulden making sure she's got it. Back to McLean. McLean walks, shoots. She takes advantage of that space that was left for her. 2 players on Yulden. No one watching that crease. She steps in and fires it home.
All the goals today have been great. Strategic, well placed.
We love the National Ringette League.
Oh my God, do we ever.
And a beautiful shot there on the replay. Again, just taking advantage of that space. Now, I'm from out west, and we call that cutting the sill. I don't think they use that term in Ontario.
No.
I've tried it with my teams, and they don't seem to know what that means, but that's what we call it. I don't know what else you call it. Lassard now. Passing it off into the corner, finding the triangle. Brule to Blanchette. Blanchette cycling, seeing the side, fires it for Lassard to pick up. Some pressure there from the Wildfire defense, taking that check all the way to the ringette line. Really tenacious on that. Wilden with some pressure. Stretch pass all the way to Kiviaho. Kiviaho is down the center of the neutral zone. Trying to make some space here. Drop pass over to Yulden. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Markle now steps up front. Shot just above the net. Can't get the reset. And it's another attempt there from Norris. Can't get it through traffic, so it'll go back to Mission. Mission now with Blanchette. Speeding all the way up. And now to Blanchard. Blanchard to Mayer. Mayer taking a little bit of space out of that zone. Blanchard. I gotta get my French straight. To Mayer. Mayer gets the shot off, creates more time on the shot clock. Team continues the cycle, fires it on Schnarr, no problem. They pass that out to their own teammate. Jacoby now, down center ice, using the sideboard. Back out in front, and a great look there from Panton Fong. She came streaking into the zone, trying to get a shot off there. Didn't have enough room. Lanouette now for Mission in the zone. Getting a bit of a bench change here, fresh legs. Lessard up top. Drop to Blanchette. Blanchette taking a shot right into Schnarr's head. Fighting for that post. Mission gets it back. Lessard again. Faking it. Down in the center, Trudell fires it. Well, she just likes to sit in that triangle. Capitalizes on that opportunity there. Tight into the goaltender. Using the tight space, finding the post. And a really great pass to settle that play. We'll start faking it, going out wide. And Schnarr had committed a little bit over to that side. Back to tied, 4-4. And a tight matchup between these two teams. Prior to this, they've seen each other 3 times before. The last time was on February 8th, where the Wildfire took the score of 8-7. They typically have close games, which is fun for us as viewers. And Granger will skate around. Kiviaho down to Yolden. Yolden's got speed. Puts the brakes on a little bit to pass it off. And tries to get the ring back to Yolden. Not quite there. Traffic is heavy in front of the net. Blanchard now in the corner here. Trudell with the pick up front on the center. No problem. Blanchard fires it. Great heads up from the center on that. Noticing Trudell's pick. Not getting stuck on that. Wildfire putting in a lot of effort there, but not resulting in possession. Mission taking it in with speed. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Makes the fake on Schnarr. Lanuette keeps the cycle moving. Stays to the outside, fakes it again. Tries to pass off, but it bounces off Duncan State. That could have been scary. Stays with Mission. Lessard now. Back down to the bottom of the triangle. Shot. Stick away. Brule fakes it, cuts through the center. Gets a shot off, but not quite on net. Blanchette fires it wide. Lessard fakes it back over to Brule inside. Get that picked up. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Blanchette fires it backhand right into the pads of Schnarr. No problem for them to manage that. Back to Lessard. Lessard passing it off to Brule. Brule shoots it. Gets it on the post. Seems to be Brule's favorite place to be, on that blocker side post. Good look there, passing up to Lawrence. Lawrence grabbing the ring, spinning, keeping possession. Getting it back outside the zone, but moving it to Yolden. Yolden to Granger. Granger back to Yolden. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Long pass over. Can't quite get a stick on it. And time will expire before Kiviaho can get a shot off there. Mission trying to sneak away from 2 Wildfire checks. Gets the ring into center ice. That's picked off by McClement. Now Lanuette gets it. Mayer cutting inside. The triangle's not quite set up. Can't find a way through. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Passes it out front to Lanuette. Ring makes it into Schnarr's crease. Another great look there by placing the player right in front of the crease inside the triangle. That definitely seems like a tried and true technique for Mission. Yolden now finds Kiviaho. Back pass over to Yolden. 4 seconds remain. Fires it from Markle as she goes down. Spinning move. Dubé, no problem with that one. Markle now waiting for the change. Getting settled, passing it over to McLean. McLean stays on the outside, moves it over to Diebold. .44, a minute and 34 remaining in this quarter. Great energy from both sides. I think you pointed out earlier that they really came into this quarter with a lot of tenacity out of the half.
Oh, for sure. Wildfire was just building throughout the whole game.
Markle now squeaks her way over the ringette line so she can be met with some forward check from Mission. Mission taking full advantage here. Trudel finds Brule in the corner. Brule now. Long, hard pass. Feeds it into the center, Trudel. And it's waved off. Here's the danger, getting a bit too close inside the triangle to the crease. Just steps right in there. Waved off. Play continues. Wilden, long stretch pass from McCall. And a firing shot from Bewald. Bewald had a really great call on that. Made it known that she was available. Wilden didn't even have to look. Passed that off, and Bewald had a great shot there. Mission with it now. Kit. To Blanchard.
Delayed penalty.
Delayed call on this. As Dubé goes to the net. 4-on-3. Lanuette now, 10 seconds on the shot clock, setting up this box. Lanuette coming in with speed, fires it to Schnarr. Great bounce, that's the reset. They'll have time now. And an interception from Yulden at center. Gets this whistle played. Looks like we'll get a holding call on Wildfire. 13 seconds remaining in this quarter. We've got another 13 minutes in the next quarter. And none of these games can end in a tie. If they do end in a tie, we go to a shootout. We've yet to have one this weekend. If anyone wants to give it a go, I'd be happy to watch it.
Me too.
We love tight games. Mission decides to keep their goaltender on the bench, setting up that box fire from Lanuette. Taking advantage of those remaining 13 seconds. Deciding to put that extra player in the zone. I think that's a good call.
I think so.
Not a lot of danger in that at this point.
No.
But we remain tied. So Wildfire are in the box. Kiviaho called for holding with a minute and 47 remaining in that penalty. Quick break here. And then we're back to the action. These things move quickly, don't they?
They do move very quickly. And especially when the games just get faster and faster. There's so much action, so much to see.
One of my favorite things about Ringette is how quick the pace of the game can be. You don't notice the time ticking down because there's so much going on. It's a fast game, the fastest game on ice.
I agree. It's especially fast when you're doing the shot clock because you're focused on the ring the whole time, and then all of a sudden, the final buzzer goes, and you're done for the day.
Yep. Good way to spend an hour and a half.
It feels like 5 minutes.
Well, that's good though, because it's a cold job.
It is. Yes, it is. Thank goodness they've now started making the heated jackets, the heated vests and stuff.
Yeah. I had someone tell me they make heated socks now too, with like a little battery pack in them.
They do.
I've got the little hand pouch warmer things going on. I got the ones in my shoes too, but it hasn't been too bad today. For a while we had the heater on, but it doesn't seem to be...
it's gone.
It doesn't seem to be working at the moment. We should send somebody to put that on. In the final quarter here, starting with a free ring for Wildfire. quickly moving the ring back into neutral zone, trying to create a little bit more flow here. Mission's going to take advantage. Lanuette trying to find someone else to pass to. Blanchard will follow up. Mission again on the power play here. Blanchard sticking to the outside. Using a little bit of space here. Tries to find Mayer. Yulden coming across the crease. Harder to find an outlet when you're down a player. Less people to pass to typically in the neutral zone. Wildfire manages their way inside the zone. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for something here. And firing it from the outside the triangle. Jacoby had a look. McLean trying to pick that ring back up. It's knocked down. And Duncan's going to take things back here, following up that redirect. Lassard with some speed across. Back pass over to Brule. Brule makes a shoulder check. He's trying to throw off Schnarr. Schnarr bats it away. And Lassard's going to get called for that one. Bit of a tough one. I think she was like basically on her way down and she was trying to get that ring, and wrong place, wrong time. Six seconds remain on the penalty to Waterloo Wildfire. A fresh 2 minutes on the clock for Lassard. We just saw that tripping call right over by the blue line. So Duncan now taking the ring for Wildfire. Buwald starting the cycle. Now back to even strength. Oh, back to full shift for Wildfire. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kiviaho back pass. And it's fed down to the corner. Jacoby back up front. Turns and fires it as she does. Can't find its way to Dubé. And it'll move up center ice with Lanuette. Lanuette trying to get it across to speeding Matashevsky. Got another tripping call here. So Kiviaho will go back to the box. She just got out of the box. I know that's frustrating. It's not so fun in there. Kind of lonely, kind of smelly, kind of cold. She'll get called 2 minutes for tripping. So we're back to 4-on-4 action. We're tied at 4-4. 10 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in this game. In regulation time, I should say. If we remain tied by the end of this, we will go to a shootout. Mission trying to break this tie. Coming around. Faking it. Finding some space. Trudell had the top of that triangle beat. Fires it just a little bit too wide. And there's a great pass over to Markle. Markle's by herself, coming in, taking the shot just with the pad. Markle in with speed. Dubé with the pad. Getting her leg out just in time. Hard to read those sometimes when you're one on nothing.
Oh, definitely they are. But she played that very, very well out. She stayed out, she stayed square, and didn't give the Wildfire player much opportunity to move.
Wildfire now. Creating that pass up top. Markle hoping for another net front opportunity. Playing 2-on with McLean for this ring. But some tenacity there from Aubin. Aubin fighting for that ring. McLean now feeding it inside to Markle. Markle quite off the mark. Down to Brule. Brule in with speed. Back pass over to Blanchette. Blanchette turning. Keeping that angle, firing it. Not quite on target. As the ring finds its way into neutral zone. Trudel. Down to Blanchette. Blanchette sees that corner pass to Brule. Brule almost had it. Cormier now. Trying to lose that check. Finding a pass over to Jacoby. Jacoby had 2 on her. And now Mission going inside the zone. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Lots of time now. Both penalties expired. We're back to full strength on both teams. 10 seconds on that shot clock. Lanouette fakes it, comes across. Bit of a light feeder over to Schnarr. They'll keep it in their pads. Glove pass over to Granger. Granger has a mark. Gets it to Jacoby. Jacoby, long pass. Right over to Hanson Fong, who is right in the perfect spot. No coverage. 8 seconds on the shot clock as Duncan comes in, fires it. Dubé keeps it to her pad. Mission finding it a bit challenging to get out of the zone here as Morrow passes it. And Trudel gets held up there at the circle. Pass over to Yolden. Yolden to McLean. McLean over to Kiviaho. Kiviaho back pass to Yolden. She'll take it with speed. Coming back up top. Straight over to Duncan. Duncan's got it. She'll put the brakes on. Get a bit of a shot off there. Not enough for a reset though. Kiviaho on the side, trying to find the pass across the crease. Finds a skate instead. Mission now, trying to gain possession. Finding a little bit challenging there with a defensive play. Can't quite find a pass to a partner, so Mission will get to keep it. Brule now. Makes the fake, goes low, continues the skate. Up to Blanchette. Blanchette stretches over to Lanouette. Lanouette, top corner, fires it home. That backhand, beautiful backhand off the feed from Blanchette. Brule to Blanchette, to Lanouette, in the net.
In the net. So many of the goals today in this game have been top shelf.
Top shelf backhand.
Top shelf
That's
backhand.
been a popular choice.
It's been effective.
It's been an effective and popular choice. In this sport, it matters less if you're right-handed or left-handed. The expectation is that you can do both.
Yes.
It should not necessarily matter. And that's a great example of taking advantage of the strength on the backhand and firing it. Top shelf. Breaking the tie. Giving some space here to Mission. Wildfire passing it back to Markle. Markle on the corner, gets pushed out. 7 seconds on the shot clock, out wide. Back pass from up top, Jacoby. Looking, coming across the top, tries to fire it. Markle gets right in the way. Doesn't find the net. Mission using the support in their zone. Mayer. Oben. And stepped up to the plate. Jacoby just takes that ring away. Using those feet to intercept the pass, getting into the space in the lane. McLean now. Giving their team some time to change. Fresh legs. Get that cycle moving. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Kiviaho now moving it back over to Yolden. Yolden, the rare miss on that. tries to shoot it to get the reset. Mission will pick things up. Radishevsky in the neutral zone. Finds Sagan. Sagan. Down low now, Mission. Blanchette fires it right into traffic. Great positioning from the defense. Step right into that area. Mission, though, bringing it back in with some speed here. Looks like Brule, yep. Tries to fight for that center part of the slot. Wildfire capitalizing here. Still in the neutral zone. Great call to get that pass off. Bewald to Jacoby. Jacoby up top, down low, firing. That shot from down low was Markle. She's got a goal on this one. Looking for another one. Lots of energy here with Blanchard stepping in, coming up across the top. Shaking her hand like there might have been a stick up in her glove. Play is continuing. 4 seconds on that shot clock, picked up. And now reset. And there'll be a tripping call on that play. Erin Markle going to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. There's a lot of energy in that zone. Easy to get mixed up in the play. Everyone was kind of focused on getting that ring. There's a lot at stake in this game. 1 goal difference is not very much. Mission on the power play here. Taking things around in this cycle. Trudel sending it across the way to Blanchette. And now fiery shot. Great save from down low, but outside the triangle. Brule had some power on that, but Schnarr was there. Kiviaho up against 2 checkers. Facing a lot of pressure here, trying to get pinched off at the boards, and it's effective. Blanchette takes it. She's one-on-one here, fires, goes wide. Mission still on the power play. 1 minute and 3 seconds remain on the penalty to Markle. Granger now. Getting it moved over to Yulden in the zone. Yulden waiting for a bit of a shift change here. The bench is on the far side, so a little bit longer to go. 8 seconds on that shot clock. Pass back to Duncan. Duncan spinning. Lets it go. Yulden's going to get called for tripping. Now that was a tough play because Wildfire had gone into the crease, and so there was the delayed call on that. And so they were waiting for the ring, and they can touch it as soon as the other team touches it. But a little bit much on that check. Yes. So this is exciting. This is the first time we've seen this today. We've got a 3-on-2 opportunity. So for those that are new to the sport, this is Emily's favorite thing. Emily's a forward, so she loves this. If there's 2 in the box, you can only have 2 in the zone. So it becomes a very difficult challenge for the 2 defense that are now facing a triangle of forwards, as we can now see. Typically they play what we call a butt-to-butt, where they stick close to each other, but it's a very big challenge as Mission tries to capitalize on this 3-on-2, which lasts for the next 15 seconds. Blanchette up top. Over to Lanuette. Lanuette fakes it, shoots. And that ring lands with Schnarr. Schnarr trying to find a friendly stick to get that 2. Granger powers her way through that. Over to Duncan. Duncan gets that out. The 3-on-2 is now over. Still one in the box. Golden remains. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Back pass to Markle. Markle tries to beat the center and the D. Gets picked off last second. Steps in the crease. And the ring will go back to Mission.
We're in a timeout session right here. 30 seconds for the team to make their final plans for the final push for the last minute and 13 seconds. Wildfire down by 1. So they'll be coming out strong, looking to tie the game up and possibly force a shootout. This is the time when it's really important to make plans with your goaltender, whether or not they're going to get pulled, how they're going to get pulled, and what the circumstance that you want them to come out in. So we're back in the Mission zone. Mission has the ring for the free play. Wildfire still has a player in the box for another minute and 3 seconds, so effectively the rest of the game. Wildfire have intercepted it. They're cycling around. Markle is fighting to get that ring into the far zone. Kiviaho has the ring, circling around behind the net, passing it off. Pass, drop pass. Shot blocked by the defenders. Kiviaho brings it back up again. Mission had a goalie ring. They're taking it back up the ice. They're circling around. They're going to try and run out the clock. That's the best strategy for them now. They have under 30 seconds anyway. Wildfire have 10 seconds to get it back up the ice. Mission intercepts the play. Game is won by Montreal Mission, 5-4 over the Waterloo Wildfire. A great game played by both teams, very entertaining and unusually close. It was a 1-goal game. Everybody should be proud of how they played. It could have gone either way with a few lucky bounces. So we're going to go through the handshake. Players are going to go thank the refs for their work. Then we're going to pick the MVPs. Montreal Mission just finishing off thanking the referees. Now it's the Wildfire's turn. Everyone's going to line up on the blue line and they're going to announce the MVPs. Kelsey Yulden is the MVP on the Waterloo Wildfire. And Julie Blanchette, captain, gets the MVP for the Montreal Mission. great game played by both teams. Stay tuned for Emily, who will interview a member of the Montreal Mission team.
I'm here with Julie Blanchette, a legend of the game and the player of the game for tonight's matchup. How do you feel after that game? It felt really close, especially at the end. There was a lot of, tenacity and tension, and you had a lot of shift out there. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel good. We love playing against Waterloo. They're such a good team. Their structure, it makes us work even harder. So it was a tough battle, but in the end, we kept to what we needed to do, and we came out with the win.
Now, we're here with CBC broadcasting Ringette for the second time in its history. We're in our 62nd year of being a wonderful sport. How have you seen that evolve, and how does it feel to have this as a broadcast today?
This is outstanding. Like I'm thinking about it, and I watch the webcasts and everything, and it's just so good for our sport. We need that. We truly need it. We have amazing athletes out here who commit to this sport for the love of the sport, and what you guys are doing is just awesome. Like, sometimes we don't realize we do it for the passion, but when people believe in us, it just makes us want to keep on going even more.
And you've got nationals coming up. How are you feeling with how the team's been progressing through the season, and how you're looking at this weekend as the last hub? How are you feeling going into nationals in a couple weeks?
We feel good. We've had some really high highs and pretty low lows, but we feel good. It's peaking at the right time, and I think that's what's important in our sport, is that we always aim for nationals and to test ourselves against the best, which is all the teams that are out there. And I think it's just the best week of Ringette. I mean, it's so fun. Our team is getting ready, and hopefully in 2 weeks we'll be ready.
Well, congratulations on tonight's win, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Thanks, Julie.
Ringette Canada est fier d'être le premier organisme sportif au Canada de s'affilier au Ability Center sous la bannière de Mixed Ability Sport Canada. Notre but est de créer un modèle de sport inclusif qui va contribuer et améliorer la santé mentale, sociale et physique de tous les Canadiens.
We started the first Ringette team for children of different abilities, children with physical and cognitive disabilities. So that's how it started, and then it just evolved to having no barriers to participation. And now we're a mixed ability team where we have all levels, all ages of participants, and it is absolutely amazing.
Good job. You got it. You're a rock star.
RFA has given our kids an opportunity to play with a bunch of kids and build friendships that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
It's been a real booster for her to feel like she's part of a group, and that they're having fun, and they're playing, they're learning.
Yes.
When I first started playing, I got my best friend's old Ringette stick, and she saved a bunch of goals in that stick for me, and I ended up getting my first wrist shot with that stick.
Il y a un impact sur la confiance de soi, sur notre santé mentale, notre santé physique. Mais sur une équipe d'habileté mixte, ces bénéfices sont amplifiés encore plus. Nous avons un groupe complètement divers depuis les dernières quelques années. Nous avons des enfants avec handicap cognitif, handicap physique.
A lot of our skaters are just learning how to skate, which is a good thing. I just love how they're developing every single season.
We'll need you out there anyways.
Yes.
Right? We'll need you out there.
All right. Now remember the volunteer goal.
Hi, my name is Jade and we're in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. We are at the Air Tindy float base here in Yellowknife Territories at this beautiful outdoor rink playing some ringette with Ringette Canada. Yeah, this is the best day of my life. I haven't played ringette for over a year since my last game with Laurentian. So for Ringette Canada to bring ringette to Yellowknife, this absolutely made my day. I think everybody should play ringette and it's great to see it here in the Northwest Territories.